And now, Mike's thoughts. The Washington Commanders, guys, officially are coming home. That's right, you heard it here first. Home to the RKF site where all that history, all those championships, and all the legacy lives. This is just more than just a stadium deal for the Washington Commanders, guys. This is a full circle moment. RFK isn't just an old spot on the map. It's where legends were made. It's where this franchise reached the absolute peak of the NFL. And now, thanks to Josh Harris and the ownership group, the Commanders are finally getting a fresh start, of which they deserve, right back where it all started. Guys, here's the best part of the deal. The stadium just isn't being hand-overed by the city. The Commanders are putting up a massive $2.7 billion to make this happen. DC is pitching in as well. But they're also using smart funding, extending a sports facility fee that they already use, like to help to build the national parks. Now, no crazy new taxes, no big hit to the public. It's a team investment and a city investment. The future is very, very bright for the Washington Commanders, guys. Plus, for the fans, I mean, this is everything. This team has played 5 Super Bowls and won 3 of them during the RFK era. Guys like Josh Harris, who grew up watching those games, get it. Guys, the Washington Commanders are coming home. They got a brand new stadium, and I know this is just about the steel and the glass. It's about the identity. It's about bringing the heart back to Washington football. I want you guys to know what I think. Are you hyped to see the Washington Commanders finally coming home? Are you hyped to see the memories of the RFK days, or are we just looking forward to this new stadium? Hit the chat box below, guys. This is live, raw, uncut NFL talk. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour.
What?
Sport Talk.
What?
Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go! What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckott, you're here with the Man Hour Show, manhourradio.com, guys. Check out the merchandise page. Sure, catch at the blog section as well. And as today, we start breaking down the NFC grades, the AFC grades as well. We're starting with the AFC North and the draft grades. I'm going to tell you, guys, the AFC nailed the draft. The AFC North nailed the draft. Shedeur Sanders is coming home to Cleveland, and the Cleveland Browns guys are on cloud 9. But guys, what do you guys think? The Washington Commanders are back at RFK Stadium. They're getting a new stadium. They're getting a new lease on life. They're going back to the moon, baby. What do you guys think about that? Hey, like my man James Frank says, that is awesome for Washington. Now, let's change the back name to Redskins. Let's bring back the Redskins name and make it a full, complete circle. James, I am with you, my man. I never understood what the whole derogatory term was about the whole Redskin things, but hey, whatever. Make the people happy, whatever it is, what it is. But yeah, let's make a full, complete circle. Drop the football team, drop the Red Tails, stop the Commanders, whatever. Washington Redskins. That is where the heart lies. That is where the heart lies. But guys, this is a live interactive show. Be like James and be like, oh man, River become a pigskin punnet. Like, pigskin punnet is happy that Shedeur Sanders went to Cleveland, and now he says he has to prove it. He will get that chance in the division. We're going to be talking about Shedeur Sanders, guys, coming up, so slow it down, baby. Slow it down. Got my man James Frank in the chat. Says, what up, Buck? What's up? Got my man Shay Frazier. What's up, Shay? He says, kicking back after a busy one. Let's talk some ball, baby. Shay, let's talk some ball. We are live every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m., guys, right here on the East Coast time, and we will be going around the NFL landscape and giving NFL draft grades. This is a live interactive show, guys, so talk your shit down below. If you want to go up there and talk your shit, go ahead and talk that shit down below. Like my man Alpha Rob, he's here every day. What's up, Alpha Rob? What's up? And he says, are they dropping that stupid ass name? No, they're not. they will never go back to the Redskins because I feel like the Redskins are too much tied into Dan Snyder. That is wild, though. Definitely never go back to the Redskins. It says, boy, I've brought an iced out watch. Junkin, Segura, Graham, boy, this draft. Man, James, you are hyped. You are hyped. But, James, we need to slow it down, baby. We need to slow it down, baby. And we need to talk about the real draft legends. We need to talk about the Baltimore Ravens. The man, the myth, the legend of the Baltimore Ravens and their NFL draft, guys. How did the Ravens do the 2020-25 NFL draft? Well, guys, if you are new here, be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button down below and give me your thoughts down to below. This is a live interactive show. I do see each and every comment, and we try to introduce and interact with each and everything. But today we're breaking down the 2025 NFL draft picks from the Baltimore Ravens, pick by pick, round by round, and we're talking about a value, fit, and what these news additions mean for the team heading into the NFL season. And let's get right into it. It's because Eric DeCosto cooked again. That's right, guys. The Baltimore Ravens nailed this draft. If you want to see a clinic in nailing the draft, watch the Baltimore Ravens because they did it this year. They did it, and they did it nice. They started off with the first-round pick, 27th overall. They picked the Georgia safety, Malika Skarks. Man, this guy is just a baller, right? The Ravens kicked things off in the first round, drafting that safety, and I'll say it right now. This kid is a baller. Starks is an elite athlete. He has high football IQ, and he's got the range and the versatility to line up just about anywhere in the secondary, much what the Baltimore Ravens needed. This is a true Ravens-style pick. Let the board come to you, trust your evaluations, and land a day one impact defender. With Kyle Hamilton already a Swiss Army knife, pairing him up with Starks could give Mike McDaniels, which he's not, I don't remember the defensive coordinator's name, a lot of creative options on defense. When you look at the day one grade, it is an A. There is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. The Baltimore Ravens guys nailed this draft pick. They saw the need, they let the board come to them, and they drafted that guy. And then it doesn't even stop there. Round two, they let the board come to them yet again. And round two, they went edge. Mike Green out of Marshall. Now, this guy dropped a bit because of some off-field concerns, but the talent is very, very real. Guys, he is explosive, he bends well off the edges, and he has that twitch that the Ravens love. Get in there and smack some people in the dirt, right? This is a kind of high upside swing that you take in the second round when you trust your locker room and your coaching. Is he locked in? Green is a steal, guys. Mike Green is the steal of the draft. He fits this defensive mold. He's a situational pass rusher, and he can grow from there. And oh, by the way, it gets even better. Let's jump up to round 3. 91st overall pick, offensive tackle, Emory Jones Jr. Man, this guy, Emory Jones Jr. from LSC, this is a trench pick, and I love it. If I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, I am in love with this guy. He is strong, he is nasty, he is versatile, and he is enough to slide side to side if needed. Could he be started like a week one? Maybe not. Let's slow it down a little bit. But with Ronnie Stanley's health always in question, adding depth is a key smart make moving forward. Day number 2, second and third round pick. Guess what, guys? They get another A. They added value, they added depth, and they added future starters across the board. Now, day 3, it gets even better. Day 3 is where Baltimore always makes their magic, and they did not disappoint. Rapid fire through these. They drafted a linebacker, Teddy Buchanan from Cal. Solid depth guy, high motor, fills the needs at linebacker with special teams potential right away. In round 5, they added more offensive line depth. They actually offensive attacking Carson Vincent from Alabama A&M. This guy is a massive human being. I didn't see much film on him, but I went back and watched film on him today. Thank Orlando Brown Jr. when he first came in. He is huge. He's like 6'8", 6'9", 340 pounds. This guy's a huge human being. And then, oh, by the way, they add another secondary width. Cone from Western Michigan. I love this pick as well. He is a fluid. He's an extended quarterback, and you could see him playing some time in sub packages early, aka nickel packages. And then in the 6th round as well, they had a plethora of 6th round picks. They drafted a kicker, Kyle Lute from Arizona. Yes, that's right, guys. You heard a kicker. The question that I want to ask, could this be the end of era of Justin Tucker? Is Justin Tucker era finally over in Baltimore? We will see. We'll see. But Loop has a strong leg, and he has one of the most accurate kickers in college last season. And then they added to some more depth pieces. They added a wide receiver, Western from Colorado. He's a tough, gritty slot receiver, also a return guy. And I think the Baltimore Ravens fans are going to love him a lot. I love him a lot. And they added some more defensive help. They added Peebles from Virginia Tech. This guy's a plug-and-play, rotational defensive lineman, high energy, low pad level, very, very quick hands. And then they added another offensive guard from LSU. And then he's just a mauler in the trenches. You get your hands on you are not getting away from them. So, guys, overall, when you look at this Baltimore Ravens draft class, guys, you got to give them an A. The Ravens stayed patient. They filled key needs, and they found value all across the board, especially in day 3. Of course, they had like 15 picks, but hey, let's slow it down. Starks and Green have huge star potential, and guys like Webster, Cone, and Dingler could become core deep depth pieces if in the future. Now, I will say this every year, but the Baltimore Ravens just know how to draft. I don't know what it is, guys, but the Baltimore Ravens draft well. This is why they're in the playoffs each and every season. This is why they reload, not rebuild. But is it enough to get over the hump? So my overall grade for the Baltimore Ravens is an A. They nailed the draft. They did it perfectly, and you cannot ask more from the Baltimore Ravens. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. How do you think the Ravens did in this year's draft? James Frank says the Ravens done great, man. I wanted that dude. Emory Jones got a crazy safety. Listen, I do not know how Emory Jones fell down to the 3rd round. I'm going to be flat out honest with you, James. The more and more I watch Emory Jones tape, I do not know how he fell to the 3rd round. Now, I understand that a lot of teams did not evaluate some players very, very high, aka Shedeur Sanders. But the Kansas City Chiefs, my Kansas City Chiefs, they have the worst offensive line I've seen in a very, very long time. Ever since we lost Orlando Brown Jr., we need left tackles. We need right tackles. Emory Jones is a dog. And that safety, yes, that safety, Sharks from Georgia. Georgia has been putting out players left and right, James. I believe I saw some stats somewhere. I think I shared it on the Facebook page. Facebook.com/manhour, that every Philadelphia Eagles players, Georgia, Alabama. It is crazy. Georgia is producing great players out there. Shay says, can they get over the hump? Can the king get a ring? Shay, let me know if you are a Baltimore Ravens fans, because I want to tread very, very lightly here. Because every time I start speaking the truth about the Detroit Lions, about the Minnesota Vikings, about the Buffalo Bills, about the Baltimore Ravens, fans get pissed off. And the truth is, guys, the Baltimore Ravens can get over the hump. They should have got over the hump a couple years ago when they played the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. But the truth is that they get in their own way. Every time Lamar Jackson wins a game, oh, Lamar's great. Oh, Lamar's great. Oh, Lamar's great. But if Lamar Jackson plays bad and they lose, oh, they need a receiver. They need a running back. They need this, right? This shows you that the Baltimore Ravens are doing things right. The last 3 drafts, the 2025, 2024, and 2023, they have nailed the drafts back to back to back. They have put pieces around Lamar Jackson. There is no reason why the Baltimore Ravens are not in the Super Bowl year after year after year. Oh, yes, I do know why. It is because the Buffalo Bills are their kryptonite. The Buffalo Bills own the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs. It is what it is. You can say what you want. The Buffalo Bills beat the Ravens year after year after year because they have that it factor, a.k.a. Josh Allen. You also have to realize that the AFC is loaded and it's getting even better. Yes, the gap is starting to narrow a little bit, but you still have the cream always rises to the top, meaning the Kansas City Chiefs, meaning the Buffalo Bills. The Cincinnati Bengals will start to rise back to the top. You can never sleep on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Granted, they're a first-round exit every year, but hey, you could always count on them doing something. But the simple fact of the matter is they have the team right now to get over the hump. If they cannot get over the hump this season with the Kansas City Chiefs kind of retooling, being tired, whatever, right? The Buffalo Bills kind of running into a little bit of contract issues with James Cook, whatever, yada, yada, yada. This is the time for the Ravens to really sneak up there and get to the top. If they can't this year, they never will. Excuse me, guys. So James Frank says that dude, Green, he's got some questioned off the field issues. Yes, Mike Green has some off the field issues, but we all know that talent trumps character in the NFL. If I'm an NFL owner, I don't care if you've done this, or this, and this. Are you going to help me win a championship? Are you going to help me bring in the Bill show? Are you going to help me put asses in the seat? Yes, come on over, right? Now, if your production if your off the field issues start to outweigh your production, then we got a different story, aka Chase Claypool, aka who is that Hardy kid from the Panthers that went to the UFC, that came to the Dallas Cowboys. I forget his his name. But when the off the field stuff starts to overshadow your on the field play, that is when you start having a problem. Hell, let's flash back to last year, James. You guys remember when Von Miller was injured coming back from his injury? He was beating up pregnant women, right? But hey, his first game back, he got like 5 sacks. All that shit got swept under the rug. Nobody ever heard about it ever again. Because his production was outweighing off the field issue. I think Mike Green from Marshall, all of his off the field issues will slowly start to dwindle away, because they got a great locker room core in Baltimore, and he has a great talent, and that is going to be it. James Strang says, Buck, you're right. The Ravens get an A. Hell, you know what, James? The Ravens might get an A+. They did that damn good. Old Man River says, on paper, yes. Let's see how it plays out. Old Man River's not sold on the Baltimore Ravens yet, like it sounds like. Old Man River is not so. Old Man River, what don't you like about the Ravens draft? Well, let me ask you that. What don't you like about the Ravens draft? Do you not like that they didn't draft their wide receiver till what was it, 6th round? Wester from Colorado, that tough, gritty slot receiver, real nice return guy. Or do you not like that the fact that they drafted a kicker? Hey. They need to get that cancer, a.k.a. Justin Tucker, off of get him out of the locker room. Go hang out with Deshaun in Dallas, right? Victor says you're nothing, bro. Okay. My bad, dog. It's easy for you to click away. Easy to click away. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
We have a Packer in the house, guys. We have a Packer in the house. Everybody, please forgive Shay. Shay, I do got a cheesehead as well. It's because my wife is a Packers fan, and we do have the biggest fan of Aaron Rodgers here, and Laura, she's a pigskin pundit. But guys, do not come after Shay's neck. We understand we got some Lions fans here. We got a little bit of Vikings fans, and we got a little bit of Chicago Bears fans. Shay, welcome to the family, man. You have now completed our NFC North rivalry here. Shay says Lamar and Henry are good at not getting rings. I want to see them get over the hump, but don't know if that defense gets it done in the draft. And listen, Derrick Henry with the Tennessee Titans had a perfect chance of beating the Kansas City Chiefs. What was it, 2017? 2018? I can't remember. It was the first year that Patrick Mahomes was like really doing his thing, right? His second year as a starter, so it would have been between 2018 season, right? And they 100% shit the bed. Last season, I don't know what happened. Granted, they ran into a very, very good team in the Buffalo Bills, and we said it here that there's a rock, paper, scissors happening in the AFC playoffs. The Buffalo Bills beat the Ravens could have beat the Chiefs, and the Chiefs would have beat the Buffalo Bills. Me as a Chiefs fan, I did not want to see the Baltimore Ravens. I'm just being flat and honest. I would have rather seen the Buffalo Bills. But Maybe 2025, 2026 NFL season is their time to shine, right? Time their shine to shine. James says, I think Lamar should bring the Kodiak on the sideline, and that's the key to get him over the hump. What you like a Kodak, like a freaking bear, or Kodak like the rapper, or a Kodak like the freaking camera? What are you talking about, James? I mean, like I'm not that old, but I feel like I'm still kind of hip. Like, but I don't know what a Kodak is, man. I mean, I can think of the camera, I can think of the rapper, and I can think of like the bear, the Kodiak killer or something. What are you talking about, James? James Strength says Green's off the field issue is a sexual thing. Sanders' off the field issue is a little cocky and whose dad is. Craziness. Like I said, production outweighs off the field things. You are going to get drafted. You're going to do good things, James. But hey, Old Man Rivers a picks and punting, guys.
Skin pun. Get you some.
Guys, be like Old Man River, clicking down the membership tab down below. $4.99 months, get your free merch and free entry to our NFL weekly giveaways. Last year, we gave up the $12,000 away on our Week 18's pick'ems. But he says, hypnotize Lamar in playoff time. Get that monkey off of his back. Get that big old silverback gorilla off of his back, because Lamar is shit in the playoffs. You're right, man. You're right. James Frank says, Victor, you ain't shit. Get out of here. Get off my lawn. James Strez says, Kodiak Black the rapper, your childhood friends. You got it, dude. I didn't know Kodiak Black and Lamar Jackson were childhood friends. You learn something every day, boys. You learn something every day. Just like I don't know. I mean, obviously, I listen to rap music. I'm a wannabe gangsta. I think they call them wiggas, right? But who was that rapper that Shador Sanders was like hanging out? Like Little Joe or something? I don't even know who that guy was. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about, man, but whatever. If you want to go hang out with the old school lame-ass rapper, you do you, man. I'm going to hang out with my boy Tech9 and Strange Music over here from D, Kansas City, Missouri. Even though I'm a KCK boy myself, but hey, KC Mo still represent all day. It is what it is. Jim Powell's a Pigskin Pundit.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Jim Powell's the CEO of the Skin Pen Pundits. He says Sanders really hurt himself. Nobody did it for him. He was playing the damn board game during the interviews. Yep, he was trying to play checkers when everybody else was playing chess, right? It is what it is. Shay says, unfortunately, Lamar is the opposite of what old man Flacco was when the Ravens when it comes to the playoffs. Not wrong. Not wrong. However, Flacco is getting old. Getting old. But let's move it on. Let's move it on to the Cincinnati Bengals, guys. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals 2025 NFL draft class. And let me tell you guys, this is a very interesting draft for the for the Cincinnati Bengals. They had some promising upside. They had some head scratchers, and they're like, yeah, but we will get into the day 3 drop off. Let's get in by pick by breaking things down, guys. Round number 1. Pick number 17, they drafted an edge rusher, Shamir Stewart from Texas A&M. Now, starting in round 1, Stewart, the edge rusher out of Texas A&M. Now, this is a classic traits over tape pick. Stewart's production, it was kind of meh in college, right? He just had 4.5 sacks in 3 seasons with Texas A&M, but the physical tools are off the charts. This man is 6'5", 270. Elite get off and raw power. This is a projection pick. Hopefully we can mold this guy before trade fully walks away from our team. The Bengals clearly think that they can unlock what A&M could never really do. He's not a finished product, but if they are right, he could be a game changer off of the edge. I still call this a B, but it's a risky at number 17. This was clearly a pick saying that we're not going to get Trey Hendrickson for a long-term deal, so let's bring in this Stewart guy, maybe learn from Trey a little bit, and maybe we can get half of what Trey did for us moving forward. And then round number 2, they went defense yes again. Yes, their defense sucks right now. Let's just be flat out honest. But they drafted the South Carolina linebacker, Demetrius Wright, a linebacker from South Carolina. He's another athletic range guy. He flies around the field. He can cover, and he's not afraid to get in the mix out of the box. That said, there are some high impact positions still on the board. Corners, tackles, even a few edge rushers still available. So while Knight should be a starter pretty quickly, I don't know if it was the best bang for your buck at round number 2 at the 49th overall pick. Hey, head scratcher, right? Now, round number 3, they did go offensive line. They drafted offensive guard Dylan Fairchild from Georgia. Drafting Georgia boys lately, you cannot go wrong. This is where I really liked what they did. Fairchild is a monster, right? He is SEC tested, and he plays with great leverage. He's got starter written all over him. The interior offensive line depth has been a concern for Cincinnati for a while now, so locking in someone with that kind of floor was a very, very smart move. You're not swinging for the upside here, but you're getting reliability, and that's valuable. So day 2 overall pick grade for the 2nd and 3rd round, I got to give him a solid B. It's solid, but it's not flashy, right? The 2nd round pick, still a little head scratcher. The round 3 pick was a nice solid grade. Now, round number 4, they drafted another linebacker, Barrett Carter, out of Clemson. Like I said, he is a good player, high football IQ, good instincts, and plays with effort. When I watched his tape when I was preparing for the show, that was the one thing that I saw. He is always flying around the ball, giving you 100%. He could always anticipate, but then again, 2 linebackers in the first 4 rounds. Why? I understand the Bengals defense sucks, but just not an ideal roster management when you're trying to keep up with the AFC in an arms race. They are doubling down on the defense, but I still think they could address the corner or a wide receiver as well. Now, in the 5th round, Jalen Rivers, offensive tackle out of Miami. This one makes sense. They needed depth at tackle, was the real issue last year, especially with injuries late in the season. River is a bit of a project, but he's got the experience and size. He could push for a swing tackle role if he develops in camp. Not a bad value here. Now, overall, yes, they did have some overall picks, right? They did draft a running back in the 6th round, Tajay Brooks out of Texas Tech. I don't know much about him, but I do need to do some more research on him. But overall, as of right now, I would give this draft grade a B-, as it is not a disaster, but it's not a game changer either. If Stewart becomes a star, this whole class looks better. But if he doesn't, we may be looking back at missed opportunities. So what do you guys think? Was Shedeur Stewart the right pick at 17? What day 3 guys you think actually stinks? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Hit that like button. And if you're still riding with me, don't forget to subscribe as well for more Bengals content as we roll into training camp and to schedule breakdown. So with that being said, guys, let me know in the comments. Do you guys like the Bengals draft pick? Do you hate it? Or are you indifferent? I'm giving them a B-. What is your guys' grade? Let's see here. Let's see what the people are saying. James Frank says the Bengals did all right, I guess. That edge rusher they got might be special. Key word there, James, is might be special. Didn't have a lot of production, but he has a very, very high ceiling. So, James, when you are drafting at 17, right? Normally you are drafting for the best player off of the board at this particular time. Because usually if you're drafting 17, actually about 19 and up, you have a pretty solid team. You're just adding depth, right? However, the Bengals defense did suck, but there were other players out there that I think they could have drafted over him. He has a very, very low floor, but a very, very high ceiling. I would rather have somebody that's kind of have a higher floor, but that is just me. Old Man River says Bengals get a C. They needed defense, and they did draft defense a lot. They drafted a defensive tackle. They added the edge rusher, off a couple linebackers. Right? They went defense. It's just not good value picks, right? Jim Powell says every highlight video was playing at full speed, but they all look slow as hell. Maybe I just watched too hard. So I feel that, Jim, after about the 12th pick, especially in the first round, we are kind of over all the massive highlights, right? We are kind of over all the in-game footage, right? Like, I believe, what was it, Friday night, maybe even Saturday afternoon. Who was the black guy that does college football day? I forget his name. But he kept saying, "Oh, this kid had two block kicks. This kid had one block kick. This guy had 5 block kicks. This guy had 16 tip passes." Like, I don't care about that. Like, damn it, just get to the next pick, right? But yeah, but we definitely started to watch a little bit hard. Old Man River says, "Here's a question: which division drafted the most?" I don't know. I would have to go back and look, but the Ravens had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 round picks. So the AFC North was drafting a lot, right? They definitely had a lot of draft picks coming up on them. Alpha Rob, my man. What's up, Alpha Rob? He says, if the Bengals can't get their defense just average, they are a playoff team. Hell, Alpha Rob, if you talk to the Bengals fans, they were a playoff team last year. The only reason why they were not in the Super Bowl was because the Kansas City Chiefs tanked week 18. They thought that, hey, we make it into the playoffs. Nobody's beating us. We are going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. Slow it down, Bengals fans. As they are a playoff team with an average defense, they're nowhere near a Super Bowl contender. Nowhere near a Super Bowl contender with an average defense, right? Now, the offense is like pretty awesome, but hey, it is what it is. Real McCoy's in the chat today. What's up, Real McCoy? He says, Burrows will always be the bridesmaid. Bengals are happy just being talked about. Real McCoy, comment of the day, man. You are exactly right. The Bengals have been that way ever since Marvin Lewis, right? Just like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals are the same way. We are happy being just good enough, just making it into the playoffs. We are happy just good enough to be a title segment on Man Hour. We are happy just good enough to be a title segment on Fox Sports, right? We are like, they're happy just being a 9-10 win team. They're happy just potentially winning a wild card game. Comment of the day. This is a 100% factual statement from Real McCoy. My man just read my mind. Shay says, pay Trey and address the areas of the defense. Stewart is a freak, but come on, man. Trey, I know you are new to the show, man, and I am with you. They should have paid Trey well before they paid T. Higgins, well before they restructured Jamar Chase and or Joe Burrow. Trey Hendrickson has, 15 or 14 and a half sacks the last 2 seasons. Since 2020, he is second in sacks just behind TJ Watt at 72.5, I believe it is. The man gets after the ball. He had 14 and a half sacks last season, and the Bengals were terrible on defense. Think about if he wasn't there, how bad they would have been. They would have been nowhere close to the playoffs. They wouldn't even been sniffing a 9-win season. They would have been a 3 or 4 win team tops. Tops. That's it. Oh, man, River.
Pigskin pun. Get you
Says,
some.
yes, they did draft defense. Depends how hell that's why they got a seat. I see you. So see how they gel. Gotcha. James Frank says, plus, I give the Bengals a D+. Is that a little bit of homer in you? Guys, James Frank is a Cleveland Browns fan. I feel that's a little bit of homerness, but come on, that is a little rough, right? That's a little rough. Old member says, which conference I meant, like the Big Ten, SEC, Pac-10. Oh, the SEC by far had the most draft picks. So Georgia alone had 14, I think. Was it like Georgia had 14 and Alabama had like 13? Like, yeah, the SEC by far had the most players drafted. However, they do have like 22 teams or some shit like that. So take that with a grain of salt. You can do it per capita, right? Per capita, the Big 12 owns that shit, baby. Don't be sleeping on the Big 12. Don't be sleeping on my boys. Don't be talking about my boys. Speaking about my boys, Browns fans, wow. If you are a Cleveland Browns fans, wow. What a draft weekend. The Cleveland Browns may have just pulled off one of the most intriguing draft classes in recent memory. If you're watching this live, guys, drop your favorite pick in the chat below. We're about to break down every move, starting with the blockbuster trade at number 2. This draft has a lot of future starters in it, upswings, and one of the most talked about quarterback picks of the year. Guys, let's get into it. But first, let's address the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the Browns trade out of the number 2 spot. They passed on Travis Hunter, a two-way phenomenon. And look, that decision is going to be under a microscope for many, many years to come. But they only moved back 3 spots to pick up additional draft capital and still got one of the best defensive players in the NFL draft. So let's talk about what they did, not just why they did it. So guys, with the 5th overall pick, the Cleveland Browns took Mason Graham, the dominant defensive tackle from Michigan. This guy is an absolute wrecking ball in the trenches. He is strong, he has quick hands, and he has a relentless motor. Oh, by the way, he's a culture fit as well. Graham just isn't flashy, but he's going to be a tone setter inside. And when you pass on somebody like Hunter, you better hit. And I think they did it here. Day 1, they get a B+ grade, not because of the player, because of what they passed on. Now, I understand a lot of people loved Travis Hunter. I was not a huge Travis Hunter fan. I said, hey, you need to pick one side or the other. But at the end of the day, I got to give him a B+. Moving on to day 2, picks 33 and 36. They drafted running back Judkins and linebacker Schwessinger, right? Terrible at like name guys, but early day 2 picks back to back. At number 33, they did grab Carson from UCLA. This is a smart, rangy linebacker with leadership qualities. When I watched the film, he screamed leader on the field. This guy is going to be wearing a lot of green dots on the defense sooner than later. He is a total future Captain vibes about him. He just walks around with that swagger, with that it factor. Then at number 36, they picked up Judkins, the powerful back out of Ohio State. When I was talking to Zen earlier today, he loved Judkins. He loved everything about him. I know it's early for a running back, right? But Judkins is a Nick Chubb type of runner. Low center of gravity, explosive through contact. If Nick Chubb is not 100% this season, or they don't sign him, Judkins could be that number 1, that RB1 come week 1. Now, round 3, picks 67 and 94. They drafted a tight end, Fanning Jr., and quarterback, Gabriel, out of Oregon. Round 3 is more of a value picks, guys, right? Arnold Finnegan Jr., the tight end from Bowling Green, he's a bit undersized, but super athletic and great after catch. Think of an H-back type of weapon, Dallas Clark type of guy. He is more of a weapon than a traditional tight end 1. And then they took a shot on Dylan Gabriel, the experienced quarterback out of Oregon. He's a lefty, he's accurate, he's mobile, but not a huge arm. He's smart with the ball. At worst, he's a solid backup with upside. At best, maybe long-term starters if things break right. Now, round 4. Round 4 is one that raised my eyebrows. They drafted yet another running back, this time Dalen Sampson from Tennessee. He is an explosive change of pace and a third down type back written all over him. But here's the question. 2 running backs in the first 4 rounds. Why not go offensive tackle, wide receiver? Edge rushers are pretty thin. This is the real debate, and this is where their draft starts to break down. Sampson is good, but was it necessary? That's the real question. Then round number 5, pick 44, the pick heard all around the world, Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado. Now, this would be the most talked about pick the entire draft. Look, it's stunning that he fell this far. Let's just be honest. I thought he was going to be a top 10 pick because I thought NFL GMs get drunk on quarterbacks in the draft. Say what you want about the media hype, this kid can play. Watch the tape. He is poised, he is accurate, and he has that true alpha mentality. If the Browns can develop him, that's a key word. If the Browns can develop him, this could be the best value pick of the entire draft. Some are saying this is the best personal decision the Cleveland Browns have made in years, and I do not disagree. It's a win-win, low-risk, potentially franchise-changing reward. So let's sum up the grades. Overall, I give the Cleveland Browns an A-. This was a bold, strategic, and full of potential draft. Now it's on to the coaching staff to develop it. All right, guys. So in the comments below, what do you think? Was passing on Travis Hunter the right call? Does Shedeur Sanders have a shot to start someday? Drop your takes in the comments below and hit that like button and be sure to hit that share as well. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Scroll back up here in the comments here. Shay says, Will Campbell to the Patriots. What's not to love about a big man? He would die to protect the quarterback. We'll be talking about the AFC East Thursday. Let's go sports. The Browns had a good draft till they drafted 2 quarterbacks in the 3rd and 5th round. Cleveland Clowns. So let's go sports. The Cleveland Browns now have 5 quarterbacks on the roster, right? They have Deshaun Watson. We don't know if he's ready to play, injured, whatever. I think he re-aggravated that Achilles back in December when he was doing a TikTok, whatever, yada, yada, yada. They have Joe Flacco, 43-year-old man, Super Bowl winning quarterback. They have Kenny Pickett, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Of course, they have rings, whatever. And then they drafted Gabriel and then, of course, Shedeur Sanders. What is wrong about adding depth in the quarterback room? What is wrong about that? Clearly, the Browns have not had a solid quarterback room since Baker Mayfield. Let's just be flat out honest. Since Baker Mayfield, since they shipped him away, yes, Deshaun Watson was supposed to be the man, the myth, the legend, but he hasn't done shit. Hell, you guys relied on Joe Flacco just to make the playoffs a couple years ago. Man, come on. James Frank says Mason, Graham, and Junkins. Junkins probably my favorite pick. Screw the trade. I feel like that kid that just lost his dog. We done signed 2 running backs this draft, meaning Chip is most likely out. James, I know you are a huge Nick Chubb's fan. Are you okay that Nick Chubb is out? Kind of like forcing him out per se? Or Wilder's in the chat. What's up, man? He says Junkins will be a starter. I think we're on the same page, man. Like I think he will have an excellent camp. I think he will have even a better preseason. He will be sitting out week 3 preseason, the third game, and probably will be a week 1, if not a week 2 starter. 100%. Let's Go Sports says Junkins picks might be a reach and still a little early, but still a good pickup. Also, the linebacker they drafted 33 overall is a good, but he will probably be a hit or miss type of player. So let's go sports. There are several positions that translate well from college into the NFL. One of them being wide receiver. Either you can run a route or you can't. Either you can get open or you can't. I don't care if you're playing SEC competition, Division III competition, JUCO competition. If it can translate from college into the NFL, wide receiver is it. The second position that is most transfusional position is a linebacking position. Either you can hit or you can't. Either you can cover or you can't. There is no teaching it. There is no molding it. Now, there's some technique stuff that you can teach, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But it's either you were a dog in college, going to more likely translate into NFL, or you're just not very, very good. But wide receiver and linebacker are the 2 positions I think that transcend very, very well into the NFL, and you can definitely get a nice, good view of what they're going to be in the NFL. James Frank says that linebacker means that Jeremiah Askuwakuwaka is most likely out. Not to be back anytime soon if he comes back. Feenan's going to be a dog. So basically the Browns have depth at every position except for wide receiver, what it comes down to. They have 2 or 3 good tight ends. They got 2 good running backs. They got 5 quarterbacks, and they have 1 decent receiver. Jerry Jeudy. Why did they not draft a wide receiver? I'm just saying. But James says, give my Browns an A, baby. give them an A-, James. Giving them an A- because I would like to see them got a wide receiver. I would like to see them got a wide receiver. Route says, I also stuttered. Glad to see you are on here like this. All good info. Stay confident. Don't let the haters hate. Hey, man, I've had a stutter literally my whole life. I have gone through the ups and downs and trials and tribulations. Stuttering is just a part of life. And honestly, going back and editing these videos and making them into clips onto YouTube helps my speech, because hearing yourself read back and like what gets you stuck and what doesn't definitely helps with the confidence, right? And confidence is a very big booster going into the real world, into job interviews, coaching, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I feel like once I start to get a little bit less confidence, the stutter comes out a hell of a lot more. Also when I get tired, but hey, it was it. Old Man River
skin pun
says the Browns get a B+. Damn, man. Old Man River's not grading with the curve today at all. There is no curve for Old Man River. He is like, man, I'm a hard-ass, old-school motherfucker, and you ain't going to stop me. Damn, baby, damn. James Frank says, I don't understand the Gabriel pick. Could have gotten an offensive tackle or a wide receiver. I agree. Honestly, you probably should have drafted a wide receiver in that Gabriel pick. But hey, because we all knew that Shedeur Sanders was going to the Browns the whole time. We knew the draft day was going to come back around and Shedeur Sanders was going to go to the Cleveland Browns. Prickett is probably gone, says James. And James, I don't know, because the Cleveland Browns can get out of the Deshaun Watson contract if they show that his Achilles is officially injured, and it was because he was not following protocol because of the whole TikTok thing of him dancing without his boot. They have a potential to get out of that, and then you have a 43-year-old Joe Flacco, and then you have Kenny Pickett, Gabriel, and then Shedeur Sanders. At some point during training camp, mini camp, preseason, a quarterback is going to go down. It just happens. It is what it is. It just happens. And when that happens, they're going to be calling Cleveland. Hey, what quarterback don't you like? Give me Gabriel for a 5th round pick. Give me Sanders for a sixth round pick, right? I think Kenny Pickett is on the roster as the emergency quarterback because they do have the 54-man roster now, air quotes there, with the emergency quarterback. So having more quarterbacks is valuable moving forward. Pepe is in the chat. What's up, Pepe? A long time no see. He says Shedeur's problem is personality, not character. He is just a rich kid. They take longer to grow up. Not wrong, right? You can definitely tell kids, especially in like high school, right? You can tell when kids have had like a silver spoon in their mouth per se, and the kids that have worked their ass off just to get to school and get clothes on their back, right? Now, I'm not saying that the path to the NFL is any easier for anybody else, right? You still got to have work ethic. You still got to have skill. But with that silver spoon in your mouth, per se, it does get a little bit easier. You get elite of the elite training. You get to rub elbows with other NFL players. Because what Shoulders with Sanders has been training with Tom Brady, right? He gets that opportunity. Somebody like a Will Howard doesn't get that opportunity, right? It's just like, but yes, you are correct. It takes rich kid, or what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't take well-off kids, medium-range households, and like above. It doesn't take them longer to develop. Just less fortunate kids they forced to grow up faster. So it is what it is. Old Man River says Gabriel, a former NFL quarterback. The man is like 20 to 29, like, isn't he, right? Real McCoy says the Browns will ruin any chance Sanders had at being any kind of a bright future. And this is where the Browns usually fail, right? actually, Real McCoy, this is where like a lot of teams struggle in the NFL in general, is right when we see the success of a CJ Stroud, when we see a success of a Jaden Daniels, other coaches, other teams like around the league expect that to happen. They expect to see that player to the moon, baby. But the truth is, player development, especially at the quarterback realm and the old line, is NFL coaching is so key. Like I've said this time and time again, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs was a perfect fit. Andy Reid molded his offense to fit Patrick Mahomes' ability. Patrick Mahomes had that great coaching, had the ability. If Patrick Mahomes would have went to the Chicago Bears, he would have probably been deemed a bust. If he would have went somewhere like the Buffalo Bills, I'm not trying to trash the Buffalo Bills, but they would have not won back-to-back Super Bowls. If Josh Allen would have went to a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, we would be talking about Josh Allen as potentially one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Coaching is so key, and the Browns lack that. The Browns lack the player development access concept of them growing and being a great team. They just expect them to be great. Alpha Rob says, I don't know what the Browns are doing. Five quarterbacks. The Baker Mayfield curse lives on. Listen, they need to buy a goat and they need to slaughter that goat ASAP. They need to slaughter that goat ASAP. It is what it is. Alpha Rob, spot on. Curse, baby, curse. James, you are the folk leader of the curse. Go get your goat and take it to the games now. I believe it was your service or your service animal, right? But James says Flacco will be a mentor and probably start, but I think Shador will play at some point. Let me ask you this question. Let's talk about this logically here, okay? I do not think Joe Flacco will be a week one starter. I think Joe Flacco will be a third string backup quarterback his entire career, or not the entire career, but the whole NFL season. If he makes the roster. If Shador Sanders plays bad during the preseason, bad during OTAs, and Gabriel outshines him, but then Shador Sanders is named second string over Gabriel, what are we talking about then? Are we talking about just the name factor? Are we talking about potential? Like, how can you base off it? Because, like, I'm not saying Shador Sanders is a bad player. He had a very, very good college tape behind a terrible offensive line. I think Gabriel has more of an upside, though, but we'll see. Wilder says Sanders has a shot for sure. Pickett is his competition. They get an A- out of me. Hard to be an extra second rounder this year for a top 10 pick next year. Yeah, you are right. A-. I think we're on the same page. Old Man River says Sanders doesn't perform. He will be traded. Definitely went to 5 teams. I'm not for sure if you can trade Sanders, to be honest with you. Unless it's for a 5th rounder. I think that's what you meant. To the Dallas Cowboys, that'd be nice. Pepe says Shador's problem is personality, not character. He's a rich kid. They take longer to grow up. Let's Go Sports says because the second and third rounders are steals of the draft. First rounders are for cheap. So why draft Gabriel? Who's not that good when they could have drafted Sanders from the start? Wasted pick. I honestly like what they did. But yes, drafting Gabriel was kind of a swing and a miss, right? Jersey Fishing says, when Shador gets to work, you won't be saying he needs to grow up anymore. There's a reason why his nickname is Grown. We will see. We will see once he gets away from his dad's shadow, his dad's limelight, what kind of work ethic that he actually has. I am excited to like see. I believe somebody, I think it was Old Man River said, hey, we need to have the Chicago Browns on Hard Knocks. I just want to see the QB1 just on the Cleveland Browns. Let's see what Shador's record is, right? James West says, you don't think it's silly to draft 2 quarterbacks in the 3rd and 5th round. You could tell Barry and Stefanski were not happy. You can tell they were not happy because they did not address the wide receiver need. They needed a wide receiver, and one of those picks could have gone to a wide receiver. Yes, you guys are exactly right. Pepe says the Browns might actually be becoming a competent organization. They have always drafted decent. They just can't develop players. That is their biggest that is their biggest issue. Is they cannot develop players. Jersey Efficient says yes, he and Dion went about pre-draft wrong, saying things like won't go to certain teams was a very cocky, and that's the problem. Shador's play on the field is not the problem. I would say yes, the way they went about the pre-draft process, not throwing out the combine, not saying we're not going to go here, or here. Here are my ideal situations. I saw a article where he was late to the New York Giants interview. Yes, you have to be punctual. Even if you don't want to go to that team, you still have to be punctual, right? Because people talk. People talk. All personnel reasons with the Sanders. All personal reasons with Sanders. He has the tools. You guys are right. Let's Go Sports says, plus the Browns have cut two of those guys anyways. Why waste picks on them? Because they traded for KP. They won't lose the loot by cutting him. Flacco is like $8 million, and Watson is a lot of money. It is tough. It is tough. James Frank says, I'm okay with Chubb being out. I think they should shop Jerome Ford, cut Pierce Strong, and get Chubba back to play that mentor for these young guys. Bring that vet wisdom into the running back room along with Deuce Staley, the running back coach. I kind of like Jerome Ford, though. I think Jerome Ford might be your feature back come week 1, and then what's his face will take over week 2. Right? James Frank says they just signed free agent Deontay Johnson. Oh, good Lord. Why did they sign Deontay Johnson? Didn't they cut him like twice? No, that was the Houston Texans, right? Let's Go Sports says Cowboys actually had a really good draft. We'll be talking about the Cowboys on Wednesday. Let's not get too carried away. Man, you guys got a lot of comments. Thank you for that. Cooper says the Browns never had a timeline. I think the Browns were an auto draft mode. Like, wasn't that like the Saints meme going around? They left the room and they couldn't get back in the snake draft and the auto drafted. Mellow Mike, what's up, Mellow Mike? Long time no see. Take this scenario. You walk into a job interview and you make demands on your future boss. Think you're getting hired? Absolutely not. You're right, Mellow Mike. You are right, my man. Cooper says Shador isn't the problem. The Browns have never developed a quarterback. They've been trying for 50 years. You're right. Baker Mayfield was the cream of the crop, but they're like, no, slow it down, baby. Justin Burtson's in the chat. What's up, Justin? He says Sanders is talented. His attitude is what sucks, but Dylan Gabriel is way better. Okay, man, I see you. We'll see you. We will see, right? OTA start next week, so we will see. Angel's in the chat. What's up, Angel? Long time no see. Pepe says, I think the nickname spelled grown. It comes from the sound his quarterback coach when he makes. Nice. I love that. That's grown. He's a grown-ass man. Justin says he played for his daddy and he gets everything handed to him. Yes and no. Yes and no. You still got to work for it at the end of the day, right? You still got to work for it at the end of the day. Let's Go Sports says the reason they had good players is because you get gems for being good going into the league. But they had so many top 5 first-round picks years, so they used to having those gems. The Cleveland Browns, that's tough. But that's true. Wilder says if Travis doesn't have a Malik Neighbors type of rookie year, TL might be in trouble. Trevor Lawrence is already on the hot seat. We'll be talking about Trevor Lawrence a lot coming up here. But let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys, with the 2025 NFL Draft in the books, we are diving into each and every one of your picks for the Pittsburgh Steelers made. From a future star on the defensive line to a potential gem at quarterback. Guys, in the comments below, I want you to drop your grades in the chat for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me know who your favorite pick was. And yes, we are going to talk about the DK Metcalf trade as well, because that move definitely changed the whole draft class. And yes, guys, you do add free agent off signings into your draft class. That's just the way it is. But let's start at the top. Derek Hammond. The man, the myth, the legend. Derek Hammond, defensive tackle out of Oregon. And I called it before the draft. Perfect fit in the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Hammond is stout, smart, and plays with a nasty streak. He is going to slid right into that defensive line rotation, may even push for a starting role by midseason. It's a classic Pittsburgh Steelers build from the trenches. Draft a tone setter. Day one grade is an easy A. The Pittsburgh Steelers drafted a perfect player on day one. Now, technically, the Steelers didn't have a second-round draft pick. Why? Because they flipped it for DK Metcalf. But let me just say this. If you're trying to figure out who your quarterback of the future is, why not get an elite weapon? DK Metcalf's physicality, his vertical threat, and his toughness, and everything this offseason has lacked in the prime since prime AB. It's a bold, but it's a brilliant move by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, moving on to round 3, pick number 83, running back Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. In the third round, the Pittsburgh Steelers addressed a big need with Caleb Johnson at the running back out of Iowa. He's a great contact balance, low to the ground, and he's a tough inside runner. What the Pittsburgh Steelers like to do, run the ball inside and milk the clock. This backfield needed someone who can grind out those tough yards. And since Najee Harris is now on a different team and Johnson fits the bill just well, great value here, and he will be complementary to Jaylen Warren nicely. A nice little 1-2 punch. And then round number 4. This man, edge rusher Jack Sawyer from Ohio State, from the Ohio State University. Now look, he is not the most athletic edge rusher in the class, and he's probably why he slid. But this guy knows ball. Jack Sawyer has a high motor, he has great hand usage, and he is smart. Football IQ off the charts. When you put him in the Pittsburgh Steelers season with TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith in the room, this is how the Pittsburgh Steelers keep producing pass rushers. He could quietly develop into a big-time contributor. Guys, look out for Jack Sawyer about 3 years down the road. Then Yada Black from Iowa. Another trench pick. Black from Iowa is a massive body. He is tough to move. Not a pass rusher, but he clogs the lanes up and eats up those double teams, giving you single coverage on the outside for TJ Watt and yes, Jack Sawyer. He is a role player, sure, but on early downs or short yardage packages, he brings value, and that's what day 3 is all about. Then we get into the 6th round. Will Howard, quarterback out of the Ohio State. Yes, another Ohio State guy going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is the kind of pick I really, really like late in the draft. I've been saying it since when we first started talking about the guys. Will Howard to the Pittsburgh Steelers makes sense. He's got size, he's got experience, and he's got mobility. His arm talent is decent. The deep ball accuracy will need some work, but he brings everything else you want in a backup or potentially a starter. If you get a chance, let him sit and develop. He's a great insurance policy in the current quarterback room. Now, the final grade. Let's put a bow on this. Here is the grade. Overall, I give the Pittsburgh Steelers an A as well. This is a classic Pittsburgh Steelers draft. Build the lanes, add playmakers, and let the development do the rest. They didn't chase flashy picks. They built a better football team. So, all right, guys. So, in the comments below, did the Pittsburgh Steelers nail it with Hammond? Is Will Howard a sleeper quarterback to watch? And how are you feeling about the DK Metcalf in black and gold? Guys, comment down below. Smash the like button. Be sure you subscribe for more Steelers coverage as we head into minicamp. So, guys, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let's Go Sports says, as a die-hard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I give them an A-. No bias. Amazing draft this year and last. We look discombobulated, but if we get Rodgers and he develops Howard, we will have a great setup. Mark my words. We will see. But Let's Go Sports, I think you're on the right page. Johnson says, did the Steelers get a quarterback? Yes, they did. They got the biggest sleeper of the NFL draft in Will Howard from the Kansas State University. Although he did go to Ohio State and win some national championship or whatever, but he's from Kansas State. Let's go. But yeah, they did pick up Will Howard. And I think Will Howard If Aaron Rodgers does not come to Pittsburgh, which we talk about him shortly, we can definitely see Will Howard competing for that starting position over Skylar Thompson, a former Kansas State quarterback, and of course also Mason Rudolph. James Frank says the Steelers get an A. I have no favorite pick from me because screw them. With that said, rest in heaven to their first round draft pick's mom. Yes. So if you guys do not know, I'm not laughing at the loss of the guy's mom. James just makes me laugh. But Derek Hammond, mom had seizures, right? Or she had a stroke, and she was in not very good condition the night of the draft. I believe she was in the hospital when he did get drafted, and shortly after she did pass away. So if you guys are looking for a very tear-jerking story, go check that story out. It touches my heart. Me getting older and like understanding life a lot more, like it makes me smile but sad all at the same time. It's a really, really great story. Mellow Mike says the Steelers get a C. Steelers will not win unless their offense evolves. This is not 1976. Who's playing quarterback? Come on, Tomlin. Listen, guys, do not sleep on Will Howard. Mellow Mike, do not sleep on Will Howard. If Aaron Rodgers does not come to town, Will Howard can step in there and he can throw a decent enough deep ball. He will get better. But DK Metcalf, George Pickens going down the seams with Will Howard, big body, big Ben Roethlisberger type of body. He could do some work, right? He could do some work. Pepe says the Steelers knew this quarterback class sucked, so they're going to rent Grandpa Rodgers this season. We will see. Old Man River says the Steelers get a B+. Now he's starting to grade with a little bit of curve, right? Pepe says the Steelers could have drafted first 5 picks and they still go 9-8. Not wrong. Pepe, you are not wrong at all. Pittsburgh Steelers are always destined for 9 to 10 wins every year, no matter who they are. Let's Go Sports says, I was skeptical with the Sawyer pick because we have Watt, Highsmith, and Herbig. I don't know how to say that name. But usually one of those two guys get hurt each year, so more depth is always better. We added to offensive line last year and defensive line this year. We are building in the trenches up for the future, and it's looking good. You are right. I like it. Mellow Mike says, Will Howard, Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers made such a huge impact on the Jets. Super Bowl aspirations when you come to New York, never made the playoffs. Mellow Mike, let's just be honest. The Jets are a shit franchise. The Jets could have the first 10 picks of the NFL draft for the next 3 years, and they could still miss the playoffs each and every year because their coach and their general manager. Now, obviously, now they got a new general manager, a new coach. We'll see how Aaron Glenn goes. But Aaron Glenn said it himself. He wants to build a culture before he builds, quote, a winning team. But that's story for a different day. But when Aaron Rodgers knows he only has a year left, maybe 2 years tops, right? He wants to pass on his knowledge to his sons, right? Because he doesn't have any kids. He doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have any brothers or sisters. So he has brothers, but he alienates them. He divorced his parents, whatever. When you go back to the Jets, look how much Zach Wilson improved from when he was without Aaron Rodgers and with Aaron Rodgers. It's just a 3-month period. Look how much Zach Wilson improved. Hell, Zach Wilson might be a starter in Miami by the end of the season. Let's just be honest. Justin says, I'd say we get Rodgers for a year or two and let Rodgers start after that. And that would be the ideal situation. Ideal situation in Pittsburgh is get Aaron Rodgers for a year, let Will Howard sit, and then he become the man. Old Member says because they played the game with Rodgers, Howard reminds me of Big Ben. He does. If you meet Will Howard in person, he is a very imposing figure. He is very, very tall. He's very, very big. He is a good guy. Let's Go Sports says, what did he have in New York? Lazard and Devontae for a half a season. Ulbrich as a new intern. Terrible situation, terrible line. Not great defense, not his prime. He's still not bad. Let's Go Sports. I understand you're trying to be unbiased, right? And yes, Aaron Rodgers did have top 10 stats for the New York Jets last season. He did. You cannot sugarcoat that any way, shape, or form. He was a top 10 stat-wise quarterback in the NFL last season. However, if you use your eye test, watch the games, you could tell he was a step closer, or sorry, a step slower. You can tell his like his arm talent, his arm skill just wasn't what we're used to seeing and thinking of Aaron Rodgers. Yes, the offensive line did suck. Yes, Garrett Wilson did kind of have a diva moment, right? Devontae Adams was kind of there just to get 1,000 yards, whatever, right? But yes, going to Pittsburgh is a lot better situation, a lot better foundation to build off of. James Frank says, I said that with respect to sincerely to Derek and his mom. That was not a shot at them. I know that, James. Like, I was just laughing because yes. Guys, go back there and watch that tape. Like, yes, it is a great story. Let's Go Sports says, you are right. We'll go 10-7 or 11-6 at best, but it won't happen. Mellow Mike says, we had what they demanded in New York, the same old blank he demanded in Green Bay, with the ex-Packer retirement home reclocated in New York. Not wrong. Justin said the only reason why Steelers want Rodgers is so they can win a Super Bowl, but that won't happen because he's past his prime. Justin, I'm going to say this again in April, like I said last June. So nearly a year ago, I still believe this about the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they have above average quarterback play, I'm not talking about top 10, I'm talking 15 to 11 type of range. Above average quarterback range, they are a Super Bowl caliber team. They can win the Super Bowl if they have consistent above average quarterback play. As long as they don't have no baby mama drama in the locker room, they're going to win a lot of games and they're going to make a deep playoff run with above average quarterback play. Aaron Rodgers brings you above average quarterback play even at the age of 42. Just it is what it is. James Frank says, will Howard walk away from his team with the instant weapons at Ohio State into a nice wide receiver room, good running back room, and with the and then they add a new running back, Warren? Honestly, I didn't see being there after the draft, Pickens being there after the draft. Yeah, I'm surprised George Pickens is there, honestly. Pepe says, Rodgers is going to treat Howard like a busboy at Applebee's. No, he's not. No, he's not. I think now, if this was Jordan Love 6 years ago in Green Bay, 100% correct. 100% correct. But no. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down. Justin says they want revenge Super Bowl. Everybody wants a Super Bowl, but can you get it? Can you get it? That's the question. Oh, my River says he's for himself and he's not going to help someone take his job. He helped Zach Wilson. Saying it is what it is. Mellow Mike says Rodgers is either Russell Wilson level or worse. Guys like laundry, wasted. Listen, Russell Wilson did not play bad. The defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers fell apart the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. And Russell Wilson had to play out of his game that he was playing the first 5 weeks of the season. Run the ball, milk the clock. So, yes, even if he is Russell Wilson level consistently, that's the key word there. The key word there is consistently. They are a good team. Let's Go Sports says, look at Zach Wilson and Jordan Love. I have a good feeling about developing like Howard if Roger comes. The arm strength is the only thing holding him back, but I believe in him. We'll see his arm strength come very, very soon here. Real McCoy says, Roger signs a one-day contract and retires with the Green Bay Packers. Okay, I can see that. Pepe says, all Tomlin needs to do is score some, I don't know what that word is. Accuracy or Haikawuso, or how you say that word, every Friday. the stuff that Aaron Rodgers did. James Frank says Will Howard will not equate to anything big Ben did while he was there. Let's not get crazy now, James Frank. Just because the Steelers are now better than your Browns, let's not get it twisted, right? Let's not get it twisted. Let's Go Sports says Omar, Tomlin, and Rooney won't let Rodgers control the team's management decisions. Drama will break out and they will turn him down. I agree. Better franchise to go to in the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Let's Go Sports says hopefully signing Robert Woods today helps George Pickens with his maturity and helps the locker room morale overall, even though he is not bad. Good, he's a good player, still getting older, still decent, a good guy. I think that's the only reason why they signed Robert Woods was simply for the veteran leadership. I think that's the only reason why he brought him in. Zach Wilson, guy, is an elite level bench warmer. My man got jokes. And Mellow Mike, I'm not saying Zach Wilson is not a backup quarterback, but look at the improvement from when he was a starter with the Jets. Insert Aaron Rodgers, who's able to take a step back, learn the offense, slow everything down. He stepped in and did a hell of a lot better than when he was a starter from play four on, right? Mellow Mike says, take it from a Texas fan. Woods is a mentor. He brought zero in terms of production on the field. Yes, Robert Woods is definitely getting older. 100% agree, guys. 100% agree. But, guys, it is time for a little bit of buy and a little bit of sell. Guys, each and every Monday we go across the NFL landscape. We see what the people are talking about. We want to buy it or we're going to sell it. So, guys, in the comments below, interact with us, guys. This is a live interactive show. Buy or sell is brought to you by W Energy, guys. Go to W.GG, use promo code MANHOUR to save yourself some dollar bills. Yo, nice, clean energy, and of course, they got hydro as well. Today, guys, we're giving away a free sample of W Energy. I got the mystery flavor back there. It kind of tastes like a strawberry, orangey mystery. It's a unique flavor. But guys, W.GG and use promo code MANHOUR to save yourself dollar bills. All right, guys, so first up on the old buy or sell. We know that prank calls are a big, big thing. We know that prank calls have a place in this world. But on draft night, Jack Yulbrich prank called Shedeur Sanders. Are we buying that Jack Yulbrich is actually sorry for the prank call for prank calling Shedeur Sanders during the draft? Guys, buy or sell? Let's get into it. In case you missed it, guys, Jax is the son of Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Yulbrich. Straight up prank called Shedeur Sanders in the middle of his draft party, pretending to be the Saints general manager. He got Shedeur's private number by grabbing it off his dad's iPad. Yeah, and privacy, not noticeable, embarrassing, and shameful. He apologized 100% is not to blame. And Let's Go Sports isn't frozen for anybody else. I believe I fixed it. Let's Go Sports. We're having major tornadoes out like in our area and storms and hail and stuff like that. I got it transferred over to my secondary ISP, so we should be good to go. So sorry about that, guys. If you guys are sorry, any communication issues there. But moving on, buy or sell, guys. Have the Steelers officially moved on from Aaron Rodgers? Buy or sell, guys? Let's break it down. Here's what we know so far. The Steelers just drafted Will Howard from the Ohio State University in the 6th round, adding him to the quarterback room, which now includes Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson. Howard has a ton of upside. He has a national championship ring on his finger, crazy playoff numbers, and a lot of excitement from the coaching staff. Steelers owner Art Rooney II said that they're still waiting to hear from Aaron Rodgers, and Mike Tomlin called adding Rodgers still as a possibility. But at the same time, they made it clear that whoever they drafted would be a development of projects and someone that wanted to build for the future. So, guys, buy or sell? Have the Steelers already moved on from Aaron Rodgers? For me, I am buying it. Look, if they really were banking on Aaron Rodgers, they wouldn't be stacking up young QBs right now. They wouldn't have held that spot tight and waited for Rodgers' decision. Instead, they're putting this energy into building a long-term quarterback room, a real competition, not just a 1 or 2 year rental like Aaron Rodgers would be. So, guys, I am buying it that the Pittsburgh Steelers are ready to move on, have officially moved on from Aaron Rodgers. Now it is your turn. In the comments below, guys, are you buying or selling? Are the Pittsburgh Steelers still holding on for hope for Aaron Rodgers, or have they moved full steam ahead on their new quarterback squad? Let's talk about it in the comments below. James Frank says, yeah, you all get a lot of tornadoes out that way. Hey, man, it's tornado season. It's Tornado Alley. Let's go, baby. I love it. But Let's Go Sports says sell. Aaron Rodgers is that. So Let's Go Sports says, first of all, Let's Go Sports is a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I believe they said he's the biggest Pittsburgh Steelers fan out there. But he said they're not moving on from Aaron Rodgers. The spot's still open. Alpha Rob says sell. I give them till June. Okay. So we get the schedule release at what, May 14th, May 12th, right? 14 days away or so. OTAs minicamp start in June. So, that's a very good possibility, Alpha Rob. Pepe says, the Steelers will take Aaron Rodgers on Aaron Rodgers' timeline. So he's selling it as well. That's tough, baby. That is tough. Ugh. Moving on. All right, guys. Next, buy or sell. Did the Pittsburgh Steelers make the right call moving on from Ryan Rotz? So some news out of Pittsburgh today. Not good news, not bad news, but news, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers have officially released 2024 sixth-round pick Ryan Watts. If you've been following his journey, you know this has not been a standard roster move. Now, Watts suffered a serious neck injury during the final preseason game of his rookie season against the Detroit Lions. At first, it was diagnosed as just a stinger, but it ended up being much, much worse. He had to be placed on season-ending IR and even went through surgery, posting photos of his hospital stay earlier this year. The Steelers, after consulting with doctors, medical experts, and Ryan's reps, decided it is best for his long-term health that he steps away from football, at least for now. General Manager Omar Khan put it plainly. They all agreed this is in Ryan's best interest. Watts, who played at both Ohio State and Texas, finished his college career with 100 tackles and 3 interceptions. Honestly, he had a lot of potential coming into the league. So, guys, let's throw this out here to you guys. Buy or sell? Did the Pittsburgh Steelers make the right move or releasing Ryan Watts for his long-term health? Guys, I am 100% buying his. At the end of the day, health comes first. No game is worth working your future over, especially for your quality of life. Now, I know money fixes a lot of problems in people's life, but quality of life is always number one in my book. This is one of those situations where you have to look beyond the game. Yes, it is heartbreaking to see a young man's career get cut short before it even begins, but at the end of the day, your health, your future, your ability just to live a full life is way bigger than football. And credit to the Pittsburgh Steelers for handling this the right way, showing real leadership off of the field. My heart goes out to the Ryan Watts family. I would have only dreamed about making it to the NFL. He's been through a brutal year, and I hope he continues to heal and find success in whatever comes next. But guys, in the comments below, I want to hear from you. Buy or sell? Did the Pittsburgh Steelers make the right call? Hit the comments below and let us know. Let us know. Oh, guys. Let's Go Sports says, super sad to hear this. I think we made the right call. He never made it through the regular season. It was a preseason. He had a lot of potential, and I was expecting the best over. Hopefully he recovers quickly. And honestly, guys, I think being released/cut from a team makes you heal a little bit faster, right? Makes you want to come back a little bit faster. Hell, this could be a blessing in disguise for him, because you can see him jump on a team like the Kansas City Chiefs come mid-roster, or the San Francisco 49ers, or the Detroit Lions, and he can win a Super Bowl ring and have a stellar postseason, and then all of a sudden he has a 4, 5, 6, 7-year career, and like, damn, Steelers messed up, right? But sometimes it is what it is. James Frank says, poor kid, never got to play it down in the league. That is tough, right? And what's even tougher is to be on a... So The NFL guys, you have to play 4 seasons to be on their lifetime medical insurance and, of course, get the retirement play. When you make it to the league, right, it's just, man, that is tough. You make it, you're this close, it's taken away from him right now. But Let's Go Sports says, between this and Derek Hammond's mom, I think is super sad. The Harmon's mom situation was super sad. It was very, very sad. Very, very sad. But James says, I'm absolutely buying this. He will never be the same player. Never say never, right? Being cut, being released sometimes refuels you, right? Re-energizes you, gets you on the right direction. Let's Go Sports says, I hope Wash recovers for his life, just not as a player. I agree. Now, Pepe says, now only if Tua had people who care like the Pittsburgh Steelers do. That is facts. That is facts. But the problem with the Tua situation is that if Tua were to be cut, released by the Miami Dolphins, there would be a team out there that scoops him up like that. Scoops a man up like that. Bada bing, bada boom. All of a sudden, he's winning a Super Bowl. And Miami was like, what? 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 What is going on? Right? What is going on? All right, guys, it's time for a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. Guys, we end each and every show with a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. We found the old... we go across the old interwebs, we see what the people are talking about, and we determine if it indeed is a fact or if it is a crap. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start off with the first fact or crap of the night, and we got talked about the man, the myth, the legend himself. We got to talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself. We're talking about the one and only Aaron freaking Rodgers. Those guys, fact or crap, are the Pittsburgh Steelers better with Aaron Rodgers? Now, here's the setup. The Pittsburgh Steelers just drafted Will Howard out of Ohio State. A guy with a national championship on his resume. 74% completion percentage in the playoffs and a ton of upside. The quarterback room, like I said, right now is Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, and Skylar Thompson. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers sitting out there as a free agent. Art Rooney said they may get word sooner on Aaron Rodgers than later. Mike Tomlin even said they're having productive talks. So, guys, do the Pittsburgh Steelers stick with the young guys or bring in a future Hall of Famer, as in Aaron freaking Rodgers? Guys, fact or crap, are the Steelers better with Aaron Rodgers? I'm saying fact. I think they are better off with Aaron Rodgers. Bringing in Aaron Rodgers makes the Pittsburgh Steelers better right now. He's not just a 4-time MVP. He's a living masterclass in quarterbacking. Having Aaron Rodgers around would give Will Howard a real chance to learn of how to be a pro, how to read defenses, how to prepare at the NFL level. Instead of throwing Will Howard into the fire right away, Rodgers buys time. And that's worth a ton when you're developing a young quarterback for the future. Plus, in a tight AFC North race, Rodgers gives you an instant credibility and a real shot to win this year. So, guys, in the comments below, what is it going to be? Is it fact Aaron Rodgers makes the Pittsburgh Steelers better, or crap? They should just roll with the young guys and build it slow. In the comments, guys, let me know, fact or crap. First one up. Let's Go Sports says it's fact. Aaron Rodgers makes the Pittsburgh Steelers a Super Bowl team, says Let's Go Sports. Pepe says yes, they will be an 9-8 team with Aaron Rodgers. Let's go. James Frank says fact. So keep Rodgers off the Pittsburgh Steelers. We don't want to see them in the playoffs. Pepe says facts. They won't go 9-8. They'll go 9-7-1. Make them a little bit better. And Alpha Rob says fact. Rodgers makes it better this year, even after his injury. That's tough, baby. That is tough. Next up here, guys, on the old fact or crap. Does adding Hunter Renfrow make the Carolina Panthers a winning team? Let's break it down. Whew. Guys, the Carolina Panthers are doing everything they can to help Bryce Young, their young quarterback. They grabbed 2 wide receivers in the draft, Macklin in the 8th overall pick and Jimmy Horn Jr. later on. And now they just signed veteran wide receiver Hunter Renfrow to a 1-year deal. Renfrow had a Pro Bowl year back in 2021 with over 1,000 yards, but the last 2 seasons, not so great. A concussion derailed his 2022 season. In 2023, he just had 25 catches of 255 yards before the Raiders finally released him in March. So, guys, fact or crap, does Hunter Renfrow make the Carolina Panthers a winning team? I got to say crap. Crap. Look, guys, there's a reason why Hunter Renfrow sat on the free agent market for so long. He's a nice addition to the room, sure, of solid veteran presence, sure, but he's not a game changer anymore. He's not going to suddenly turn the Carolina Panthers into contenders. Their team success still hinges on Bryce Young making a leap and young draft picks stepping in, not a 29-year-old slot receiver trying to reclaim his own throat. So, all right, guys, so it's your turn. In the comments below, is it fact Renfrow changes the game for the Carolina Panthers, or crap? It's a nice story, but he's not a needle mover. Drop it in the comments and let me know. Pepe says fact. The team barber won't be very busy. He is a balding man. He is a very balding man. I feel your pain, Hunter Renfrow. Let's Go Sports says fact. Leggett, McKinnick, and Renfrow and Horn could be hard to guard, but they will still find ways to lose a lot. So Let's Go Sports says he makes them better, but they're still going to lose a lot. Let's Go Sports, in this man-hour nation, in this man-hour world, we call this waffling around. We call this waffling around the answer. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be better, but still lose a lot of games. Come on, man. Come on. Alpha Rob says crap. Alpha Rob, you thinking clearly, man. You thinking clearly over there. That's right. Let's Go Sports is they won't have a winning record, but still win more games than the past seasons. Which, honestly, that's not hard to do. You get 4 wins, you get 5 wins. That's a double improvement for the last couple seasons. James says, "She, I mean crap. I mean crap." Oh man, River says crap. Per Homer Waffleson. All right, guys. All right. It's been a great show for you guys. I always have fun talking to you guys. We always have fun. We always chop it up. But right now, guys, we need to have a serious conversation about the NFL draft. We need to have a serious conversation about the NFL draft. And not just about the picks or the prospects, no. Today, we're talking about how the draft has gone way too long. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I love football. I love the drama. I love the rookies' reactions. I love seeing which teams screw up their futures in real time. It's awesome. But let's be real. 3 full days, 7 rounds, 32 teams taking forever in between breaks. Man, it's brutal. First off, the first round, the main event takes 4 hours, 32 picks. That's 7 minutes in between every pick. Yeah, sure. Some of it is suspenseful, but honestly, half the time the teams already know who they're picking. They're just milking it for TV time. Then you get to day 2. Rounds 2 and 3. And by then, honestly, it's just background noise. You're checking your phone, you're folding the laundry, you're not glued to the TV anymore. And by 3, rounds 4 to 7, that's for the hardcore draft nerds and the front officers, right? No one else cares deeply about a punter from Eastern Michigan. No offense, but nobody freaking cares. And the worst part of it is just not the pitch dragging it on. It's the analytics. Every pick gets 5-minute breakdown, highlight packages, interviewed, which is cool. But after the first 10 picks, I don't need a full Sports Center segment on every guard, every long snapper just to announce the pick and let's move on. Guys, I think the NFL could totally streamline this process. Make it a 2-day event max. First round gets one night, boom, 2-3 minutes per pick after the top 10. Boom, let's go, baby. On to the second day. Rounds 2 through 7. Rapid fire. Bam, 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 bam. Maybe even overlap analysts with the picks. Like a trigger tape. Just keep them moving. Keep up the energy, baby. Look, the NFL draft is great news. But it is it's set up now. It makes us sit down through 3 Super Bowls without halftime shows. Just endless commercial breaks, slow announcements, great content, but way too much drag out. Way too much of Mel Kiper crying about how Shedeur Sanders didn't get drafted in the first round pick or the second round pick or the third round pick or the fourth round pick. But what do you guys think? Am I just impatient? Should the draft stay for 3 days? Or do we agree that it needs to be quicker, tight, more exciting? Drop it in the chat, guys, or if you're watching the replay, hit the comments below. I'm going to read them all. Going to read them all, baby. All right, guys, so that is it for tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Smash that like button. If you are tired of waiting 15 minutes for your team announced to pick, I'll catch you next time, guys. I am out. I'm out. I'm out.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man, our NFL talk. I know that you ready for more. They on the field, ready for war. Who's in the lead? I'm checking the score. We about to do it like never before. NFL live, uncut, raw. This is Man Hour NFL talk. Let's go.